Good morning, Sin City, and welcome to the Las Vegas Social Media Show right here on the Social Network station. I am your host, Sam Dever, and we are very, very privileged today to be here with two Las Vegas social media legends in my mind, Mr. Chris Rochnot and Bill Cody. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's a privilege.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you.
No, it really is an honor. Tell me a little bit about your guys' self. How'd you guys end up in Vegas?
Well, we came to Las Vegas in 2003. We moved here in 2003, but we figured, why not move to a city where there's always conferences, especially for what we do, like National Association of Broadcasters and Consumer Electronics Show, and back when Comdex still used to be around, we would come for those.
Okay, so the conferences was the big draw.
Correct.
Okay. So you came kind of when social media really started to get going, was that time, wasn't it?
Well, Bill had a couple of businesses back in California, and he would advertise through, now we're going way back here, bulletin board services.
Oh.
So would you use your computer, and you would dial up to a server, and there would be whatever on it. So there would be advertisements. So that's really where he started. And then in 1995, I joined with Bill. I got a little bit older. I figured out what he was doing. And then so he taught me some of the business as well.
Very cool. And you actually hosted the very first Las Vegas Tweetup out here in Las Vegas, is that correct?
At the M Resort. Yeah, and it was just me and Bill and a couple of friends, and we had been to the M Resort when it opened. We really liked how their design was different from other Las Vegas hotels, and it's so far away from the Strip, but still on Las Vegas Boulevard. We're like, well, a lot of people don't like to go to the Strip for some reason that are local, so we're like, let's try this. And, it worked out pretty well. We had a couple of people join us, and then we did a mini tour afterwards of the property. And then their view, back then the restaurant was Veloce at the top.
Okay.
You can see the whole city from up there, so it was very nice.
Okay. Well, now what got you really going in social media, I guess? I mean, because it did kind of just gradually snowball, you being in media, pick up through Twitter and Facebook, because we mentioned before we started recording, I knew who you guys were before I even moved to Vegas, just because I would search, hashtag Vegas or hashtag Vegas media, and there you guys were.
Yeah, we were kind of pioneers with the hashtags. I would talk with people, and they're like, well, what's hashtag? What does it do? And I'm like, well, you can link all of your tweets and other previous posts through a hashtag, so why not use it? It's another way to link, and we had that same strategy back when we were building websites. Everything links together. So in the short form, Twitter can link together through hashtags.
Yeah, it's a great way for serendipitous discovery of information.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So, I had someone on the show say they couldn't exactly pinpoint who said it, but somebody said there's more tweets coming out of Las Vegas than anywhere else in the world. Do you guys think that's true?
Well, with my 81,000 tweets and Chris's
almost 70,000. Now that's
a lot.
There's quite a few people that have tweeted more than us. And I think the top city for social media, Twitter specifically, is London.
Really?
So we're up there. I think we're number 14 on the list.
But I think that's also due to the lot of hospitality and travel that is here. They've seen the value of social media and the quickness of Twitter, so they're starting to engage more. And really, where else in the country are you vying for those eyes and those dollars than in Las Vegas?
Okay, that makes sense. And another thing, I think people want to tell people when they're here too. It's like, hey, everyone, I'm in Vegas, or I'm at the Cosmo, I'm here, I'm there. But that's interesting about London. I had not heard it. And you guys travel a lot, correct?
We do.
We've been traveling for a very long time. I've been flying since very young, Bill as well, and we love travel. So we work with travel agents, we work with people in the industry, cruising companies, a lot of people in travel.
All forms of travel. We like air travel, cruising, like you said, even luxury vehicles. We've had Chris out in a NASCAR out on the Las Vegas Motor Speedway traveling extremely fast.
Yeah, that was a crazy experience.
How'd that happen?
One of the local PR companies said, well, we're having a media day. Would you like to join us? And I said, well, I've never been in a NASCAR before. I've seen them on TV and seen them in person before. For sure, let's try it out. So I was able to get in one, and Wow, unbelievable.
Were you able to tweet while driving on that one?
No.
You probably had to put the phone
No.
down.
I could barely see out of the helmet. It was like very, very small. I don't know how those guys and ladies do it. It's amazing.
Intense, huh?
Yes.
And another thing, with all your guys' travel, you guys definitely keep people who follow you updated. I'll see Vegas one day, California. You know, all the other conferences you guys go to. I think didn't you guys go to something in Michigan, Detroit?
We did. We went to the North American International Auto Show.
I watched the Scott Monty interview. Actually, you guys did.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Scott's great.
He's a really fun guy, and we've met him several times, and so it's nice to meet him on his turf, because that's what he's assisting with, Ford social media.
So you guys are kind of like your own just traveling media, company, really, where you'll go to these events and just start giving the people coverage. You don't have to be NBC, ABC, CBS, or whoever. You guys have done it all independently on your own and put it on blogs, and I think that's really cool.
That's right, and we're passionate about that. We're passionate about Las Vegas, and we were interviewed on CBS a couple times, and they're like, "Well, why do you like this city, and why do you do it?" Well, we like Las Vegas. We want people to visit here. Far and above from what we do for business, we want people to visit the city. We want locals to visit the Strip. There's so much to discover on the Strip.
And it's always, yeah.
If you're not visiting the Strip, you're missing out on a lot of what Vegas has to offer.
And did you know that the Strip hasn't been about gambling for over a decade? And you would think to yourself, what would it be? A lot of it is due to food. So
Food.
people are coming to Las Vegas to experience food, and that's what we also assist in like as well. So we show photos, videos, talk to chefs.
So, one aspect of what we do, we cover events, we cover red carpets, travel, but we're also brand advocates. So the brands that we enjoy, the brands that we buy from, we like to showcase them.
Like Mac.
Like Apple, yeah, for
Apple.
sure. Like we were talking about earlier, I
Yeah.
visited Apple headquarters recently and did a nice video out front. I didn't go inside. I don't know anyone there yet, so I'm working on it.
Yet.
Yet.
No, and I think that's really cool because, just that. You just shot it right outside there. You're showing people how easy it can be, if people could just go out and just do it. And that's what I like about you guys, because it seems that it doesn't matter where you're at, what type of camera you're using. You guys are interviewing Scott Monty. You're outside Apple Mac headquarters. You guys are traveling. You're putting it on blogs, social media. So I guess, what advice would you give someone if they wanted to get into really blogging and getting their brand out there?
They need to build their personal brand. In this economy, we don't know what the future is. There's no business today that you can be in the same job for 35 years. So if you build your personal brand, that will be with you always. Keep it positive, keep it light, keep it engaging. Tony Hsieh once said, CEO Zappos, be interested, not interesting. So if you're interested in what others are doing, you can help them, and they'll eventually maybe help you.
And you bring up Tony Hsieh, the whole Vegas tech scene going on right now. Do you got any comments on that? Just the really cool things that are starting to happen for the city, because Las Vegas is and always will be known as the party city, but there's a totally different side to this city that's going on out here for all the tech people out there.
And it's amazing that a lot of people don't know that people actually live in Las Vegas. When we say we live here, they're quite amazed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
people
we don't-
live there? Yes, they do.
We don't
2
visit
million
every
of them.
weekend. We do definitely live here. So it's very cool what Tony's doing downtown and everyone at Zappos. And there's now an ecosystem all on its own, building up companies and startups. That's what the city needs. That's what downtown needs specifically. And both Mayor Goodmans have facilitated that and helped that along, which is great. We need more business in the city, and why not start up your own companies or bring people in that want to start up companies? So the Vegas tech scene and the fund that Tony has is awesome.
And then, moving, buying the old city hall, going down, so they're all going to be close to Fremont. Just talking to different people that have worked there, it just seems like it's a really cool culture to be a part of, and it seems to be a really good time to live in Las Vegas, I think. So I'm curious, where do you guys see, more specifically, probably like the social media scene going here in the next few years?
Well, it's not really about local. When you talk about social media, it's more about international. So our mobile technology, most of us have cell phones and smartphones. That's going to be with us always, and it's going forward going to predict more of what we want. So let's say we're near an Apple store and it knows that we're getting full on our iPhone because of all of our music. It'll say, well, your other device is almost full. Maybe you want to buy something here. So it'll be intuitive in that sense. Or some of these phones now have near-field communications capabilities where you'll be able to buy products just by swiping your phone across the register, and it'll automatically be linked to your credit card. So internationally, that's where it's going. You see that in Japan. You're starting to see that here in the U.S. The credit card companies are working on it, which is great.
And a lot of hospitality companies are using it where if you go into a property, it's going to alert you that there is a coupon or a value to you since you're near the property. So they know that if you start to get something while you're near, that maybe you're going to purchase. So they're experimenting with that here.
Wow, and I think you kind of got my thinking going. If I'm a casino or any business or restaurant in Las Vegas, social media would be, to me, a great way for free focus groups almost. Because if people are tweeting about these things and talking about them, it's a way that Vegas companies and restaurants or whoever it may be on the Strip can continuously improve based on the information they're getting from people, tweeting about it, posting it on Facebook, getting their opinion rather.
Yeah, and all of these companies, no matter if they're in Vegas or anywhere, they need to be engaging their brand advocates. Also look at the influencers, but look at their brand advocates and figure out how to engage them. Not engaging them is a huge mistake, for them in the future, especially for mobile sales.
So do you see, we're not going to name any names obviously, but do you see some maybe social media mistakes or, some people out here in Vegas that are doing it the wrong way?
Well, everybody makes mistakes.
Right.
Everybody's human. So, as long as you learn from that and go forward in a positive manner, that's great. Social media and Twitter and Facebook is still relatively new. Sure, Facebook's almost 10 years old, but to the public, it's somewhat still new. So people are learning.
No, absolutely.
And they have to learn it's not just a broadcast medium.
Right.
So listening is fine for companies, but you actually have to engage. So that means if people are talking about you or with you, that you need to engage them in conversation. So, because just imagine these people, customers, want to know what's in it for them. And if you're constantly leaving them by the wayside, they're going to go to another company that will take care of them. And then when they do, those ties that they have with their friends are going to be so much more good for the business that engaged with that first customer.
So engaging with them, interacting with them, retweeting them, and you do see a lot that do that out here, that I think's pretty
Or,
cool.
as simple as liking a photo on Instagram from a brand. That's, it creates like a warm and fuzzy feeling for the customer.
Absolutely. And I know this is kind of a simple question, but I always like to ask people, both individually answer, please. What's your favorite part about social media? What's your favorite part?
I like finding new people when I travel in each city that are like influencers. So I like engaging those people. Sometimes I look on grading websites and see what the top influencers are for that city. And I'll send out a couple of tweets and ask them, where should I go? What should I do? So hopefully when people come to Vegas, they'll maybe ask myself or Bill about that.
They should. You guys are real credible, very credible. So, Bill, how about you?
I really enjoy when people have followed us like you have and see us later or at a different event come
Right.
up and tell us about their experiences. So we've helped through our experience them virtually experience what we do, and that's what we really enjoy because we're passionate about things that we do, and I think that shows with the people remembering for years later.
You hit it on the head as we were talking before the show. I made a little Halloween video on my flip cam a couple years when I first came to Vegas outside. I was in a pink gorilla costume, by the way, outside a Pure nightclub. And I went back to it to use it for another video like last year. And I was watching it and I go, wait a minute, what was that? I rewind it real quick, and there you two are walking in the background. I'm like, it's 24K and at Vegas Bill. And like we said, like I knew who you guys were before even coming to Vegas. So just you guys, have set the example on creating your own brand, and people that don't even may not know you personally recognize you through the Twitter streams and whatnot. So you guys have definitely done an excellent job of that. And little did I know that we'd be having this interview here today. So I agree with you. Like that is cool when you connect early on, but then later down the road you guys engage in real life and everything. So I think it's a beautiful thing. It's real cool.
Well, thank you, Sam. And
Yeah.
it's been awesome meeting people that we engage with on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We went to the NIA show, which was in Detroit, the North American International Auto Show, and a lot of the folks there had been following us, and we had been following them. So meeting in person was a good time.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm sure our audience is going to learn a lot. Where can people find you guys?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter, 24K, or the business, 24K Media. We're also on Facebook, the same, 24K Media. And I'm on LinkedIn, Christopher Roshnot.
And you can find me, Vegas Bill, on Twitter. And on YouTube, we are SEO Marketing.
Okay. Very cool. Well, Chris, Bill, or 24K, Vegas Bill, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.